It's your boy Roger Franklin signing in for BRS Sports on YouTube. I'll post the link for this video once I get everything going. I haven't hit y'all with one of these in a while, so I figured why not I take the opportunity, especially with NBA free agency and all the craziness that's been going on with it. I love every second of it. The NFL needs to take notes. They need to get rid of the franchise tags and let these boys go out here and sign where they want to sign and get their money. That's just my honest opinion. But with that being said, let's get to some topics that I've seen a lot. I've seen a good bit on Facebook. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, especially with the trade last night with Russell Westbrook going to Houston. I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and I kind of want to chime in to where y'all can see and hear me from the standpoint of I have an honest opinion about this because, quite frankly, this is probably, as far as trades, this is what the this is probably the third biggest trade that's happened in free agency with AD going to the Lakers and Paul George going to the Clippers. This is probably the third biggest trade to go down. Definitely the most, in my opinion, the most shocking. Nobody was expecting Russell Westbrook to go to Houston. Everybody thought he was going to go to Miami. Nobody thought he was going to go to Houston. But I'll give my thoughts about the trade. I know some people saying Houston hasn't improved themselves. Yes, they have improved themselves because Russell Westbrook right now at this stage of his career is a better player than Chris Paul. Chris Paul, granted, is 34 years old. Russell Westbrook is 30. That has a lot to do with it. But Russell Westbrook is a better rebounder. He's a better driver of the basketball. Is he the floor general that Chris Paul is? Absolutely not. Chris Paul is one of the greatest floor generals as far as being able to run a team, being an extension of a coach. He's one of the greatest point guards to ever do it, and he will be going to the Hall of Fame. When he retires 5 years later, he's going in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. He's first ballot. But with that being said, I feel like Houston needed to do this from a standpoint of being relevant and wanting to contend. Do I think they're going to win a championship? I don't think they're going to win a championship, but it's because Mike D'Antoni's their coach, and he's not showing me that he's a clutch coach, that he's a coach when it matters in the big time moments. I don't think they're going to get there as long as Mike D'Antoni's their coach. Now, but I will say Russell Westbrook and James Harden is an interesting little mix. They're both ball dominant. They got to have the ball. I mean, I think last 5 years they're 1 and 2 in a lot of categories. In particular, usage rate. Usage rate is basically initiating the offense. Your hands on the ball. Offense is pretty much going through you. Is basically what the usage rate is. And there aren't two guys that are more dominant in usage rate right now than James Harden and Russell Westbrook. So that dichotomy is interesting. It is an interesting situation when you think about it. But when you look at the way that team's going to go, transition, they should be unstoppable. And this is why I say that. Because if Giannis is the best transition player in the league right now, and LeBron is up there as far as being unstoppable in transition, Russell Westbrook is right there. And he's not as tall, he's not as big, but he's just as ferocious. He's going to bring a tenacity in the transition game that Houston has not had. And I think in a way that's going to make Mike D'Antoni's offense run a little smoother, click a little more, have a little more oomph to it. The fact that he can go from baseline to baseline and do his thing and drive and not have to worry about necessarily always setting up plays, but he can create his own shot like that. But from this standpoint, the defense hasn't really gotten that much better. Russ, he's athletic enough to play defense. He just doesn't always play defense. And we know about James Harden. He can get you steals. I get that. But as far as straight up one-on-one, has he gotten a little better? Yes. But are you still going to rely on him in the fourth quarter to play lockdown defense? No, you're not really. But I will say, Houston will make the playoffs. I think Houston's probably in that 4 to 6 area. They could get a home first round series, or they could be a sleeper that could pull an upset in the first round. I think they're in that 4 to 6 range. That's just my opinion. But I do think Houston will have to have some things go right, but I think Houston can do a little something this year. My favorites out west are still Clippers, Lakers, and nobody's talking about them, but I really like the Utah Jazz. I like what they already bring defensively as far as having a Rudy Gobert, but adding a Bojan Bogdanovic, his three-point shooting, Mike Conley with his leadership, but his ability to still score, and Donovan Mitchell There's a fearlessness about Donovan Mitchell that I love, especially watching in the playoffs against Houston, even though they lost. I love the fearlessness because he wasn't scared to take shots. Yeah, he wasn't hitting them, but he wasn't scared to take shots. And that's what a leader of a team should do. So I have mad respect for him there. Don't sleep on Utah. Don't sleep on Denver. Don't sleep on San Antonio. And I know a lot of people aren't going to say San Antonio, but Greg Popovich, as long as he's coaching, San Antonio is always going to find a way to get to the playoffs and win basketball games. So don't sleep on the Spurs. But my favorite out west right now, I feel like it's Clippers or Lakers. And I'm picking the Clippers because the Lakers do have good defensive players. I just think the Clips as a whole are going to play better defense. That's why right now my favorite out west are the Clips. Now, if we go to the East, I'm still looking at Milwaukee, even though Philadelphia probably has the most talented starting five in the Eastern Conference. When you can roll out Embiid at the five, Horford at the four, Tobias Harris at the three, Josh Richardson at the two, Ben Simmons at your point, even though he can't shoot a lick. Ben Simmons is still one of the most athletic players in the league. He's imposing, and he can still put up numbers. I still like Milwaukee from the standpoint of Giannis is only going to get better. Brook Lopez took steps in the absolute right direction in Budenholzer's system, and he's only going to get better. Even though you had to pay buku money for Chris Middleton, but you had to do it because Giannis needs that number two. Chris Middleton is that number two for him. You had to keep him. I still like Eric Bledsoe and Wesley Matthews as a two. He's a 3-and-D guy. He can play decent defense. He can shoot the three. That's good at the two. That's good at the two spot, at the shooting guard spot. My pick is still Milwaukee. My pick right now is Bucks Clippers as far as the finals, but it's still too early to tell right now. But we'll see. Moving on, I want to talk about some of these moves. I think my most underrated move of free agency is Kemba Walker going to Boston. The reason why I say Kemba going to Boston is because Brad Stevens is probably feeling like I can coach Kemba way better than I could coach Kyrie. And it's from a standpoint of Kemba's style of play. Even though he is a ball dominant player and he is a scorer, Kemba, I think, is in that mode where he just comes to work. He's gonna come. He's gonna practice. He's gonna come to work. He's gonna play. He's gonna make his teammates better. And I think for some reason, I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they both have really good years. And I think Gordon Hayward. I think it's time for Gordon Hayward to really show why they gave him that money. But remember, Gordon Hayward was an All-Star in the Western Conference, so Gordon Hayward is very capable. I think Boston will be back on the come up this year. Kemba's my most underrated move. My most overrated move. I think my most overrated move has to be Russell going to Houston. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think they're going to win a championship. Even though I think they're going to be good, I think they have improved with Russell Westbrook over CP3, even though I feel like they have improved from that standpoint because Russell Westbrook is a better player at this stage. But I also feel like the defense isn't going to be up to par where it needs to be come playoff time. That's why, in my opinion, I feel like Houston will get to the playoffs. Houston, I feel like, is a semifinal team. I think they're a semifinal team, but I think a team like Denver, a team like Utah, a team like San Antonio, teams like that that have some athleticism, that have some defense, that have some tenacity, can beat a team like Houston. So that's why I say Russ is my most overrated move. But I do still like that move from the standpoint you have a dynamic backcourt. And in this league, you need two guys that can put the ball in the basket. Russ is low efficiency, James is high efficiency. We know that. But they both can put the ball in the basket. And they both got the transition game. So Houston will be better. But with that being said, like I said, I think right now my finals pick at the moment is Bucks Clippers. I might be wrong, but I mean it's July. We won't know until we get in the fall when the NBA season's really kicking off to understand who's going to do what when we have the full rosters, when we know who's going to do what at the start of the season. I'm just going to have a blast watching this season. The era of the super team is over. We're back to having two stars on teams. I think a lot of fans are getting tired of the 3-man, 4-man super shows kind of running the league. And I think it's about time they step back and understand the league needs parity. And then you got all these teams with these duos. I'm just enjoying seeing that again. So with that being said, I'm done for now. I'll share the link in Facebook. Y'all hit up the YouTube. Y'all check the video out. Like, subscribe, comment if you're feeling froggy. But with that being said, I love the support y'all were showing me when I was putting videos out. I want to get back into it again because I want to take it somewhere. I want to make something of this. So with that being said, anybody else out there on Facebook that does the sports stuff, if you want to collab, hit me up. We can definitely do it. Because honestly, I feel like nowadays all sports debates, opinions, and everything, and they're like 2-man shows anyway. So if there's anybody else that want to collab with me, feel free, hit me up. If you want to debate with me, hit me up. To everybody else out there that's liking and supporting me, if you have ideas, share them. Feel free. If you have sports topics out there that you want to share, that you want to tag me in. I had like one of my cousins shares stuff with me all the time, news stories and stuff like that. Or just fun debate. Like one of my cousins, one of my closest cousins, he posted a topic saying, it was 5 guys, who was the best scorer, and just all I appreciate is healthy sports debate. That's all I appreciate. So if y'all got topics, tag me, hit me up, feel free. I'll be more than happy to talk and debate and have a good time because that's what it's about. But like I said, I'm gonna post this link in Facebook. I'll post it in my messenger story. Feel free to hit me up. Check out my channel. Support my other videos. Like and subscribe. Comment if you're feeling froggy. Thank y'all so much. If you check this out, I'm gonna start bringing back the content because I'm ready to do this. But my name is Roger Franklin for BRF Sports. Signing out. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. All right, I'm out.